SmartSuite is introducing the concept of internal forms. This means that from now on, every form that solution managers create can be submitted by workspace members within the SmartSuite app. This brings several advantages. First of all, internal forms capture the context of a current user. This essentially means that submitting a form becomes identical to creating a regular record. The second advantage is the speed and the ease of use. Forms can be called with a click of a button, and I will show it in a second. And of course, solution managers still have an option to share a form and make it publicly accessible if they need to. We are now looking at the self-service portal where employees can submit different request types. Each button here calls its own form. Let's add one more button that submits an access request. In the button settings, you'll find a new action type, Open a Form. Next, we need to pick a source table, and I have to mention that you can pick any table from any solution in the workspace. Once the table is defined, we can pick the actual form to open. And below it, you'll find 4 options for displaying the form. And slider is definitely our new favorite, so I will go with that one. Now, as an employee, I will click a button to submit a request. The form slides in, and I can fill it in while staying on the page. And because each button is linked to its own form, I will see only those fields that are relevant to this specific request. This makes the entire submission process so much easier. Forms listing is a centralized place where solution managers can see, create, and manage forms that exist in the current solution. This update also changed how we approach forms in the Views panel. But first, let's take a closer look at the Forms listing page itself. Under the Solution menu, Solution Managers will see a new option. It opens up a brand new page that displays all forms that exist in that solution. Each form is shown as a card. The cards are grouped by table name. By clicking the table name on the left, you can immediately jump to the table and see all of its forms. Each card has a 3-dot menu, where you can duplicate or delete a form, start editing, or copy the form's URL. Clicking the New Form button opens up a dialog window where the app asks for the title and the source table for that new form. Clicking Next brings you to the Form Builder where you can add fields and continue the setup. Now let's exit Forms listing and go back to the Views panel where forms used to be created and managed. As I open the Views panel, you'll notice the message saying that forms have been moved to the new listing page. This message will only be shown to solution managers and they can dismiss it anytime. You will also notice that your existing forms are no longer displayed in the views list. Does this mean you can't have forms shown as views? No, it doesn't, but the definition of a form view has changed. From now on, solution managers can choose to expose internal forms in the Views panel. Basically, it works similar to someone clicking the Open a Form button in a dashboard. So let's set up this new form view. To do it, I will need to select a form that a view can use as a source. And the cool thing is that in this new setup, you can pull forms from other tables and other solutions. Again, similar to how you would do it in a dashboard. And once I select a form, the view is created. And from now on, any user who has permissions to the form's underlying table can make internal submissions. Previously, every form lived on a single page. From now on, solution managers can split it into several pages, grouping related fields together, and even add a dedicated review page where users can double-check their answers before submitting. This makes longer forms feel lighter and easier to fill in. Let's take this hardware support request form as an example. It has quite a few fields and right now they all live on a single page. We'll break it down into a few logical segments: general info and device details. At the bottom of the form canvas, you'll find the New Pages component. This is where we manage everything related to pages. The form already has one form page by default, so let me rename it to General Info. Now I will click the plus button to add another page, and I get to choose between a form page and a review page. Let's go with the form for now, and I'll call it Device Details. And now let's add a review page so users could look through their answers before they submit. Each form can have only one review page, and it sits at the end of the form right before the submission. In the settings, I can define a dedicated title and description, and below it I can pick which fields should appear on this review page. And by default, every form field will be pre-selected, including those that are conditionally visible, but I can uncheck anything that is not needed. Fields can also be moved across pages. Every field on the form now has a Move button in its header. I'll click it, select the target page, and when I do so, the field instantly jumps over. It shows up as the last field on the target page. And notice that as soon as I have more than one page on the form, action buttons get a special logic. On the first page, I see only a Next button. On middle pages, both Back and Next, and on the last page, Back and Submit. You don't have to configure any of this. It all happens automatically. Now let's see how all this looks for the user. The form opens up on the first page. Here, the user will fill in general information about their request and click Next. Then they will provide details about their device. And when they reach the review page, they can see all their answers grouped by the page they came from. And if there's something they want to fix, they click the Edit button next to the page name and they are taken right back to it. Once they're happy, they click Submit and the form goes through. Pages can now be displayed as a progress bar on a rendered form. A progress bar can play a pretty important role in the submission process. It shows respondents where they are, what's coming next, and how far they are from done. This results in a smoother process from start to finish. So let's see how we can set it up. I will be using this multi-page due diligence assessment form. First, look for the New Style tab. Here, click to enable the progress bar control. You can choose if you want the page names to be rendered, which I personally prefer, and you can pick between dots and numbers as display formats. Let's keep the dots for now. And let's switch to the preview mode. You will see how dots in the progress bar change as I'm moving through the form pages. We can clearly tell which pages have been completed, what the current page is, and what's ahead. And by the way, you can navigate back to completed pages by clicking right on the progress bar icon. Pre-populating certain fields on form load makes the submission process easier and helps solution managers capture data more accurately. Let's take this self-service portal as an example. Employees have several types of requests they can submit. And if they click to create an access request, I want submitter's name to be set to current user and request type to be access management. To do this, in the form settings, look for the new toggle default value. We will set submitted by to record creator or current user and set request type to access management so that it matches the actual purpose of the form. And now when a regular user clicks request button, both fields will have their values pre-filled when the form loads. This feature greatly improves and extends the usage of linked records. Whenever a person who submits a form selects a linked record, you can utilize it by pulling and displaying various values of that linked record on the form. For example, in this hardware support form, the user is supposed to select their device from the list first. And once they do it, a set of lookups immediately bring up detailed information about a selected device and display them on the form. Linked records in forms can now be displayed as tables. Previously, when you selected a linked record, a form only displayed its title. Table format gives you the ability to display additional attributes of selected linked records in a perfectly readable format. To enable it, just click on a linked record field in the formula builder and select the table format. Fields to display option allows you to define which exact fields should be displayed in that table. Now let's switch the form to the preview mode and link several records. In this case, the table will include a list of attributes of a selected device.